Later, if I deserve, I don't know yet. We don't know yet. I, uh, yeah. Thank you for inviting me after many years. I was last time 2018 to a conference and a little small workshop connected. Um, I hear some people complaining about my yesterday talk that I was very negative towards ecology. Uh, this is uh, this is not because I am against ecology, but I wanted to say that uh, we need to move forward. Ecology turned out to be useless uh, in the face of the catastrophes that are there, in the face that the new technologies need lithium and third world countries need to make huge holes to get from the earth these rare materials that are needed for the uh, electric cars, like electric cars will bring some salvation. This is not realistic. It is not realistic. So why should I not tell this? You know that this is not realistic. This is just to uh, this is just to ignore what Gaia, the creator of this, what is so say Gaia universe, what she the past that she is tracing towards the future, and uh, which is not dependent on human technologies. This is another. You saw with peace. We work so much on peace movements, and now we are in the middle of a cruel war in Europe. This is not proper. Uh, why not? Of course, we would like preserve nature, but we had in Slovenia last year wicks of fire that could not be extinguished. We had this August such big waters that the whole houses were washed away, and bridges and British people came to help, and from all the different countries. Better we are in ecology, worse it is in the world. We must see this. So what I try to say is that there is a, a realistic solution to this. And the solution is to follow the evolution of Gaia. She has now, like I speak of her like a mother goddess. No, this is for me Gaia uh, is a woman of pen. You know pen from Olivier Cromby. Crombie pen. Is the masculine aspect is a pen, and feminine aspect is Gaia. This is something normal. It is a cosmic project. They are working on billions of years to develop such a technology that the spiritual levels can be incarnated. This is more billion years long project, and we are the crowned human beings maybe of these projects. And now we destroy. this doesn't go right. And somewhere it started to be wrong from the human side, obviously. And this needs to be recognized. At one point, we started to be over rational, over logical, and what I was saying yesterday, it sounds as a kind of anti-ecology. Is the ecology is a daughter of natural sciences, and is must obey the rules that were set up at the end of the 18th century and never changed. And the rule said, what you cannot see does not exist. One. Second, what you cannot logically explain does not exist, and so on. This is a rationalistic movement in France in the end of the 18th century, people. How much changed in these 200 years or 300 years, incredibly. And it is not possible to stick to these crazy human decisions. And the whole Gaia universe must suffer under such ideological decisions that in effect started in the Renaissance and then were developed. But so I am permanently decades working with nature, and I am not blind. I can see the suffering that human beings cause with such crazy ideas that become like how you call it, dogmas. These are simply dogmas, rationalistic dogmas. So, but this could, I could tolerate it to the moment when I became aware that Gaian universe decided to end these crazy things and develop a new, completely new path of evolution, new chapter of evolution. And this chapter of evolution says that the Gaian universe, the 10-dimensional Gaian universe, is an autonomous world, not dependent from the sun or anything outside. Sun is part of it, as much that Earth has a relationship to the sun, but it is part of it. It is fantastic. It is an autonomous cosmos that was created in these very long distances of time. And in one moment, it was so far that, as I said yesterday, it is not possible to make more beautiful flowers and more beautiful way how nature functions. And no, it is not possible. But it is possible to go beyond. And this place for me is a symbol, and I'm associated since 1971 with this place, because we created a sister community in that year, and we came to with my family. We came to say we are there in Slovenia on the other side of Europe with the same ideals, and this decision was saying that beyond the physical reality that ecology is dependent of, there are the dimensions that make life possible. Without that dimensions that we could call invisible, life has no chance. I don't say now we must go back because this is not good. It was, but it was such an important step to show that this is not esoterics. That look, cabbages that are so big as a moon on the sky. This was the esoteric levels were going already 100 years coming in since middle of the 19th century with Madame Blavatsky, and everything was understood how these different invisible levels and dimensions work, how they're connected, and but this didn't have connections to life and to possible changes in the course of the civilization. But to show that with text, you know, Divina and Eileen, and to show that that cabbage has a language, can say what she needs. So this is, I understand that at one point, this wonderful thing became dogma. And that we want to go out, just being, like standing on high points and say, look what Findhorn is. How wonderful. This doesn't lead nowhere. So I understand to wipe all this away and say ecology, only what you can touch, and logically explain and say how this is saving the future with this making electricity, and not saying how much energy needs to do one of these windmills. That this will never come back through the electricity done. But this was important step to say no. We don't want to be esoteric Mecca. All right, but this became problematic at the end of the previous century, when this new way that the Gaian universe started to go in according with, I think yesterday I was talking about with the general changes in the bigger universe. In the moment when this started, we tried with Katarina Brocke, yeah, and with my daughters that we came with workshops, so try to convey, but I think we were not good enough for this that something happened, and that from the side of the all beings of Gaia, no, how shall I say, that there is a completely new path being prepared. I think since 2000 years, but we didn't notice as culture. We didn't notice, like the revelation of St. John is giving exact map of the changes that are coming in. This was 2000 years ago. I think I did a good work in creating Gaia Culture book, where I'm working on this since long time, to translating the apocalypse into what I experience these last 20 years as changing coming in. It is one-to-one. Just my elemental master, I couldn't do this 20 years ago. When I tried to decode Apocalypse, I see that he has a place somewhere in the Adriatic. So I sit with him and I try, how could I enter? This text is not understandable. There are hundreds attempts to decode. And he said nothing, of course, because it's air, not visible. But in my consciousness was start in the middle. And I realized, looking then at the text, that it is composed in such a way that people would not destroy, could not destroy it like they did the Gospels with their with human in search. And this is that if you start in the middle, to the left and to the right, all chapters from beginning to the end are symmetrically always the same, repeating. And so I understood, now is the time when this new course of evolution that was introduced those three years when Christ walked the earth and collaborated with Maria Magdalena, that now was running like underground came up. And for me, it came up in the autumn 1997, in the autumn. But I told this already, I know, to you, maybe twice, previous years, but why not? I had a dream. And the dream was that there was a big square in the middle of a big city, and full of people going in different directions, their tasks, following their tasks. And I was running between them and shouting one sentence, more and more louder, more and more louder. And the sentence was that the reality that you see around you does not exist anymore. This is just the memory of how the reality was. In German, I dreamt. This is a, this is a translation. And I think this is the reality. It means that the basic powers of Gaian universe have shifted, and we are in the air, so to say. We are a bubble. Since then, I mean, shifted. They did shift before, maybe 2,000 years ago, but not on the manifested level. On the manifested level, is everything normal as for the human circumstances normal can be. This means permanent wars and crazy ideas. This is religions that have their own fighting each other, and but underground everything was getting ready to this moment when appears, and this is on the threshold. I had this dream on the threshold of the third millennium. It is obviously a kind of timetable, or how you call it, about these processes. And I awoke myself because I was shouting this sentence more and more loud till it was so loud that I awoke. So I jumped out of the bed and ran out to see how is basic is the radiation of the ground. So the, the radiation that in normal circumstances would be like this, but then now is quite low, relatively low because of human success. But this time it was turned upside down, and this was few days didn't change. So there was like turned upside down in the energy field of the earth that probably we didn't feel. We will feel the next turned upside down, I believe. That will be more clear and strong. And so I realized, and the continuousness of this story is in my book. uh, uh, Christ's power and the earth's wisdom, because I wrote just this book at that time about uh, the false aspect being infused into the Gospels. That's what this means for the development of our culture, Christian. Um, and since then, I understood this. The old geomancy, like exploring the phenomena, energetic phenomena in landscape, or what I do, what we call earth healing. This means healing um, blockades and traumas in places. This was put in the second row. No, something wanted to come on the first place, and this is that we must find a way to connect to this new path. And yesterday, at the end, Vladimir put a very good question about new technology, what it means. And this has to do with these ecological questions. So my answer is a dream, another dream that I had. Because I had many dreams in these 20 years, because everything is like, what is going on? What is going on? So I get help. And the dream was that I was guiding a bus. No, we were sitting in a bus, and the driver, there were so many cars, we didn't move properly. All was standing, the traffic, and move a little bit. And the driver got crazy and went out of the bus. And nobody dared to come to the wheel. So I decided I never learned to drive a car in my life. My wife Marika is so kind to drive me here or there. So and somewhere it went. But we come to this threshold where the road goes down and it was no asphalt anymore. It was like a field, ploughed field. This is where we are. And I didn't know where the brake is. So I saw there is a membrane around the membrane next to the wheel, steering wheel. So I see if I come with the hand closer to the membrane, then the bus goes slower down. And if I go a bit more away, it goes quicker. So we well could go down till I thought maybe I'm not a good driver. Better I go for my wife, ask my wife to come. And so I put stones under the wheels and I went for my wife. This means it is all on trust. This is a technology on trust. That there is a universal consciousness that is supported by different beings, like elemental beings or elemental angels exist also. And we need to swim with or move. No, first of all, we need to go to Findhorn and listen about that there are elemental beings and that it is possible to collaborate with them. You see, things are very connected, very good connected, so that the things that we cannot accomplish, there are other different kind of beings. What I find the most important is collaboration with what I call elemental, how do I call it? Sparks, elemental sparks. They exist in great swarms. The science calls them microorganisms. There are in human body a little bit less microorganisms than cells, our own cells. Not to speak of how many in 1 liter of ocean water. I think more than people on the earth. And these are not microorganisms as scientists look in this crazy not microscopes where you see something, but electronic microscopes that are slaves to the paradigm, racial paradigm. No, Findhorn published a book that is called Christ Sparks by William Bloom. That was a great help to me to understand. I don't speak of Christ Sparks, but he very well could show that these micro beings are, first of all, consciousness, that they move like oceans through all levels of life and bodies, like also our bodies, and that they have high consciousness to know what on the other side of the globe is going on when it needs help, or it is so. So this classical uh, understanding of elemental beings, like elemental beings of water, elemental beings of earth, elemental beings of light, elemental beings of does not exist anymore. This is this what happens with this new path that Gaia is taking is that all levels are undergoing big changes, and that the the portals open. This is about the new technology. Portals open. So the elemental world is not anymore there and we are here. But we are all here, but in different dimensions or levels of, and what we cannot do, others beings can do. Today we had very much a theme of dragons. Science calls this atomic power. It is the primeval power of Gaia universe that holds this space for all beings and all worlds and all dimensions to exist. And we still say dragons because we all have this image of an atomic bomb that splitting an atom, what comes out? A tremendous power that still is burning in Fukushima and even in Chernobyl. Because we should not destroy the dragon. So by taking it into the scientific context and say, atomic structure, it can be used for our anthropocentric human needs. But if we say this is the most complex consciousness and life power that is in the Gaian universe, then you see everything changes. Instead of breaking it to take out, we could move with this power and wisdom. The whole wisdom of Gaia is concentrated in those beings. Today we were working with the dragon of plant world. How did I call it? Vegetation dragon. This is something so wonderful. It is going through all leaves and all plants and moves. You just need properly enter at the edge of the leaf, one leaf, and you are inside in. So it is not just the old Findhorn, the plant, the elemental being, behind are devas. No, and behind devas are dragons. So you see, it is not to repeat what we don't want, being repeating again and again, the Findhorn stuff. But there are possibilities to go further and not be, and be also scientific and ecological. Okay, this is all right. Just we should not be slaves of scientific dogmas, including the ecological, because this is preventing the evolution of the Gaian universe to take to get in alignment with a change that is of cosmic character, change of cycle. You may know from my book on elementary beings. You don't need to read my books. I will tell everything. So, what is important? And this was, during preparations for this change. One possibility to understand what is going on with this cosmic change is that the evolution in the last big cycle is running through 4 elements. And it started with the light element. This is fire, but we say light. Light element, when the Earth didn't have body, manifested body, but light body. Of course, this is logical. And then first body that the Earth developed is water body, Atlantis, water body. So everything, but now it is manifest in this second phase. But it is water, it is still moving. Forget about Atlantis from Plato. This is just from the Egyptian priests, how they understood it. It is a logical development how Gaia evolved her universe. And the third next step is materialization, so that the Earth element, this is now what is already past, but it's still now. So then the most possible materialization of the body, and what stays is the element air, and this is element of consciousness, of interconnectedness, of freedom, beauty, art, collaboration between all different levels. This is the concluding millenniums that are in front of us. And this is why everything is changing. And what the angels appear also as elemental angels. This means there are angels that Gaia gives in to them elemental body of elemental being, like we got from the animals, the body that we could start our incarnation process and change this body and develop it and so. And this is so. Angels are not anymore just there somewhere, but are also here. And so many things like this. it is a big reordering that I think yesterday I was mentioning this love sphere, that this reordering is not just before we were in this materialized earth and now everything opens. No, it is also coming from hierarchical orders into horizontal love-based order, because love is the only cosmic power that can hold the universe in harmony, let us say, in togetherness, and does not operate through hierarchies. So angels are not anymore up and elemental beings down, but elemental beings can also become spiritual masters. I have, such as I mentioned before, my elemental master, who helped me. I mentioned this in my books often. The help that I get, which before could be possible only from the angelic world. So I think it is, we are in a transitory time for this. So on one hand, what in my previous dream I said does not exist anymore, which means it exists under certain condition. And so this reality is still here, but it is not anymore embedded, but this is a human thing, how we achieve this, that we are not anymore embedded into this whole, but still we can use this space as reality that we need to prepare for the big change, but at parallel, simultaneously, this completely different new kind of reality is being built up, and waits or invites us to join. I was criticized also in relationship to yesterday talk, that like it is pessimistic, like no future insight. No, I think this is the grace that is given to us, absolute optimistic, that there is another level now being created that is equal to paradise, without any romantic. But since Gaia started, this was approximately 2 years ago, I noticed, to build this love sphere. I say philosphere. I don't know how this is in English, but this means philein, to love in Greek. Like philosophy means love of wisdom. Sophia, philein Sophia. And this is, and this, maybe yesterday I talked about it, but never. That there is these different spheres that Earth is composed of, like hydrosphere, or before is lithosphere, the sphere stony, the mineralic body, and then there is the hydrosphere, the watery body. Water is a complete body on Earth, you know. And then there is the atmosphere, biosphere, biosphere, like all life of the Earth interconnected. And then there is the noosphere, also scientifically use this term, which means all consciousness, that all levels of elemental consciousness, human consciousness, uh, angelic, all different levels of consciousness constitute one sphere with all these different levels and interconnected. And then appears this philosphere. And this philosphere is not something that is around the Earth, but is permitting, like a hydrosphere, water sphere. No, it permits all bodies and all life. And in the same way, the love sphere permits all beings and yeah, please. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I have it here if you like. I don't need it for now. Um, so, and this is the highest earthly spiritual consciousness that knows how to order all cells or all elemental sparks, atoms, and this is too linear what I am now speaking. From inside, create such a synergetic pattern that we can all relate to each other, but I don't mean just human beings, of course, but human beings incarnated and human beings not incarnated in this moment, for example, and other. I still have water. I added. No, I gave her my. So I will get drunken if I. What will people say in front of the public? So it is something from inside. The changes don't come now anymore from outside. They come from outside. Yes, of course. Not very nice, but this is because we are outside. And so the changes come upon us. So yeah, again, I am speaking too long about non-interesting things. But the great question is what to do. Uh, huh. Now, can you? Now it's 9. But we started 8:15. So we have till 9:15 the place, or we have till midnight. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So maybe on the first place is needed to work on perception. Perception, and this everybody can do, but this changes everything. Perception does not start with the anymore with the physical perceptive organs. It starts with feeling. It starts, everything is basically vibration. So it starts with vibration. This human mind is fearing this. This is the greatest horror, because vibration you cannot understand. But there is a new way of perception that says, says you are allowed to feel. You are allowed to feel. Don't, it is said to us like, no, this is not objective. No, no. Objective means that, because it is outside. Subjective is on the first place. Feel it, feel it. And then there is capacity of consciousness to translate feeling following resonance. Quickly, the consciousness finds images or feelings or sounds maybe or words that correspond to these vibrational structures that you have felt. And logical mind can read it and say, ah, this is this and this. So Jesus said so often, the first will be the last, and the last will be the first. And now feelings are the last. They are now the first. And rational consciousness that always comes, you feel something and come, oh, what is this now? I don't understand. This cannot be accepted anymore. First is life, and then the end is the logical understanding. This is not against logical. You understand? Things turn upside down, as I said with radiation that evening, that night, when I had the dream of the great change. It is just turned upside down, but it came back. So nobody can do this for anybody. You understand? It is work, simply it is work. It doesn't. We were educated through hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of years, more and more logical, and now, I'm sorry, this is a wrong path. Now, not yesterday. And yeah, so it is not so important having contact with elemental beings, or this is secondary. The first thing is that we get in tune again with life itself by starting to feel, to be sensitive. And this love sphere that now starts to build up is the greatest help, because it is not perception, it turned out. It is loving. It is loving each other. But I don't mean human beings among ourselves. First, feel how mountains love each other, or stones, or pebbles, I don't know. And especially trees, of course. How they create these fields of love, that permanent exchange, they are embedded. in this Lao sphere. And so I discovered it in nature. Suddenly I thought this is not just, we thought this is like energetic consciousness, relationship between trees and so, but what is this? So sweet. This is not just energetic. It has this smell of the paradise. This is, we love nature, but maybe we don't know why, because we want this also experience among humanity, but this will come. Yeah, so perception is, I think, is the key. No, perception, it starts with perceiving and then it goes into relating, and this goes in communicating. And this becomes possible because door open, this transition on a new path of Gaian universe is a basic process that interdimensional portals between different dimensions and evolutions of beings start to open or are easier to open. And so that we still don't perceive and be part of this is because this crazy idea that you know, physical senses, logic, and so must go first. But in effect, it becomes very simple. So this is why basically I say it's so important to move with this new. It is everything is new. And this is the tradition that Findhorn put on agenda for the world. But couldn't go further. It was needed a detour, maybe, many detours. But the situation changes and something that was not possible to develop further. This was great thing how it was developed here. Now it is possible to develop further and be an eco-village at the same time. You know, this is not, it is just happy eco-village, right, please? Or loving. Yeah, I think we understand well. This is also, I don't want to say do this, do that, or just but few things I try to tell no, to bring to awareness that because they are like it is like this, like this is normality, but this is not normality. This is crazy situation that we have closed ourselves in this three-dimensional space and we suffocate in. But this is more crazy now because there is this new space, horizontal, loving, concretely present, and we need just to find 100 different ways how we relate, how we find ourselves. I believe there will be given us enough time before this reality dissolves, and this will happen. It is not possible like a dualistic world with the new and old. But there is this, we are happy to have this uh, time in between where we are giving enough time to understand what is going on to the first steps or the fifth steps, whatever, steps of this kind or other kind. Uh, and more and more we get tuned to this. I have an exercise for this, which is Gaia touch with hands. I show you. Maybe we do it. It starts. It starts with the Earth as a closed ball, and then it goes through because these are the elements: fire, no, water, fire, earth, air. It goes. We said before through these elements, and the thumb is the archetypal level, the matrix of life, the dragons. Yeah. So this totality, it is called causal world that is behind the manifested. This is so the exercise that you move so that the small fingers, both small fingers come on the thumbs. And through this, a new space comes into being that is open. If you look, you can look through. It is not anymore closed. But you move in such a way that you touch the fingers, always in a round, hold the round, because it is like the sphere of the earth transforming into open organism. A new kind of space comes into being. And then you go opposite. Always the small fingers that stand for era of consciousness, of freedom, of togetherness, comes on the thumbs where the primordial powers of Gaia creation is in resonance with the thumbs. Shall we do this together? Did you get it? No? Did you? How like this, the closed sphere, and then you move as far that the small fingers come on the thumbs, and this open space come, and then also opposite. It goes on both sides. What did she say? Okay, okay. So, or yeah, you just put like this. This is simple. Both small fingers on the thumbs, but it is good to move, because this is the transition. Uh, when a cycle is being completed, this is called Plato's year, 24, 25,000 years. That the precession of the axis of the Earth takes 25,000 years to do one circle in the universe. And this is this going through all this epochs of the Earth, and finally come to now. Okay, you can practice at home. Yeah. Ah, now I have done my job. It is 15 past 9.
Would you like to receive a few questions?
Oh,
You still have
really? I have explained everything. No, no possible questions. No, I know. This was a joke. You see, there is no question. Is there a question?
Yeah, I'm very touched by all what you say, and it feels that the work or the invitation to consciousness and to refine our perception is like to the whole humanity.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if there is any specific task or something that we hear in Findhorn.
Yeah, and what is the question?
Is there something specific? Like, I think that's what the whole humanity needs to practice to refine our perception. And
No. The evolution goes like this: that small groups and individuals start to tune in, and then maybe they invite some friends or talk to some people who are also listening, and this is organic way, no revolution like Lenin. This is my experience. I come from communistic country, and it's wrong. It collapsed. So I think it is all right. It needs not quantity, but everybody is responsible for the right moment for this person, or how, we all are responsible. But yeah.
When you talk about the way maybe the Western mind perceives, my impression is that not all cultures have made that move to a materialistic worldview, and that there are people
Like Chinese culture.
maybe
Chinese culture is Karl Marx.
more
Yeah, you mean indigenous? Yeah,
that they
this is big help that there are still indigenous folks that continue their way, and we try to support, but also we are allowed to be skeptical, because what was is not anymore. So it depends how much they tune to what is now, or how much this knowledge that they bring helps us to to be connected to what is, to the big change and so on. This is all
my
relative.
impression is that some that I hear things that they are saying that are similar to what you were saying.
Yeah, I know there is.
They are tuning.
Yeah, I think this is great help.
Thank you, Marko. You shared something last night, and it's something you keep repeating about the horizontal, and you were talking about hierarchies. And I feel I have been seeing for maybe even the last 10 years some of the old structures, things breaking down, particularly where there was abuse and misuse of power. And it feels like that's what is speeding up. The old old systems breaking down, and that it's the here. If I go in the sea, and you talked about the sea coming into the lagoon and the river, it's the place I feel most in alignment. And I just wanted to say thank you for the way that you've shared so eloquently. It really resonates with me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Oh,
I just have.
yeah, you can put question tomorrow. No, she is in our group.
I know. No, it was more a clarification, just a summing up. So, what I get as the essence of what you were saying is that there is this sphere of love, and it's the attunement to that sphere of love that aligns us with the changes.
No, this is just one aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow we talk.
Yeah. All right. This is how much I can do tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now.